Hello friends, my name is Steve Guttenberg and I am the audiophiliac, and today I want to talk about young audio salespeople. The other day I did one about young audio entrepreneurs, people who started their own companies to sell audio, which is noteworthy because high-end audio, or even audio, the audiophile business is populated mostly by old people, people my age, baby boomers. The whole thing is, the whole ecosystem is baby boomer age. The people who make it, the people who sell it, the people who write about it, the people who buy it, they tend to be over 50 years old. Now, the purpose of my piece the other day was to point out, no, there's this next wave of engineers and designers making great stuff that are not baby boomers, younger than baby boomers. Oh, so I'm going to do a quick music review at the end of this little jaunt. So anyway, but I'm thinking we need more young salesmen. And even in New York City, which currently has 7 or 8 high-end stores on the island of Manhattan, there's only one salesman I'm aware of that's under 40. I think he's in his early 30s, actually. His name is Ron Kane. He's one of the owners of a store called NoHo Sound, and I did a piece about them, and I will link to it. But, you know, the thing is, if there were younger salespeople, I think the potential customers who are young would feel more, let's say, in sync with the salespeople. The salespeople would be more in sync with the younger customers, and vice versa, right? And I don't know, if you're 30 years old and you're a high roller in New York City, and you go into a shop and all the salesmen are 60 plus, you might feel like, I don't really want to talk to my grandfather about, how to hook up my server, etc. So the other day I was at a store called Innovative Audio, talking to the owner, Elliot Fishkin. I know Elliot since the 70s. And I kind of, ran this past him. I said, so would you be interested in hiring people, a salesperson who's young? And he said, sure, if they could sell. That is a requirement to be a salesperson. You have to be able to sell things, and who has really in-depth knowledge of high-end audio. You sort of have to have both, selling ability and knowledge of audio. And he's like, sure, because I told him I was going to make this video, and I will link to his store. His name is Elliot Fishkin. But not everybody's in New York City. So wherever you are and you're young and you're really into audio and you have some sales ability, and I mean, like, in other words, if you sold cars or real estate or something, and you're really into, in other words, you could sell expensive stuff. I don't mean like selling, toasters. I mean selling, quality goods. And you have a deep, deep interest in high-end audio. Wherever you are, if there's a store in your locale, you should think about a career in high-end audio sales. This is just my idea of the day. It's like, I don't know why they're not stepping up. I know that I don't think a store in New York City would turn somebody down because they were too young. I think they've all been aware of the need to have a younger face in their stores. I just don't think that a lot of younger faces have been applying for the job. So anyway, I'm just sort of throwing it out there for everyone to consider. Wherever you are in the U.S., in the world, wherever you are, and you think you can sell, and there's a nearby store you'd like to work at, and you feel like you can make a living there, ponder that. Think about the possibilities of being a salesman. I will tell you that I did it for a long time, and I'd say it's not glamorous. You do get to use and play with and have hands-on knowledge of a lot of high-end gear. That is great, but it is a lot of work selling audio. Don't think it's an easy gig. But I'm hung up on this idea that high-end audio needs to be reinvigorated with new blood. Salespeople, companies making this stuff, people writing about it. I mean, most of the magazines and websites, the people who are doing most of the writing are certainly 40 plus. So if you're 25 and you can really write, and you know a lot about audio, consider the possibilities. Consider contacting those magazines and websites, and say, I'm interested in writing for you. Basically, the way to do it is to write a review on spec, meaning you write a review as if it's going to be published, and say, here's what I can do as a writer, and send it to the various magazines and websites. And I'm certainly not guaranteeing you're going to get a response back saying, oh, we definitely need you, we've been waiting for you all these years. But that's how it starts, is you got to prove yourself. So if you're a good writer and you know a lot about audio, write a review of the sort that would appear in that magazine or website, send it to them, and sit by the phone and wait for a response. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, so that's my little rant for today. My music review for today is a guy, the artist more than a specific album. He's a blues guy. His name is Otis Taylor. And I kind of stumbled upon him in the early 2000s because, I like blues, but a lot of blues seems kind of tired. It's such a rigid form for the most part, and it just seems kind of, speaking of old, kind of like stuck in its ways and stuff. But along comes Otis Taylor. And first of all, he plays banjo, which is, as they say, for real, an African instrument. So to actually do the blues on banjo kind of makes sense. And he's pretty much an acoustic artist. It's more folk blues than rip roar and electric blues. It's not that kind of thing. It's more deep. It's deeper. It's got more of his voice is a growl, a moan, if you will. He's got this gravitas. There's a blues word that just I immediately connected. And there's like a jazz kind of vibe to it. And it's incredibly soulful. So the one I'd say to start with is this one, Below the Fold. That's my favorite Otis Taylor record. And I really like this one, Respecting the Dead, or Respect the Dead. So, check him out. He's the real deal. He doesn't sound like anybody else, really. And that's the mark of a great artist, is he's a true original. He's got something to say. And, he mostly does his own tunes. And he sings with his daughter. It's a woman. I'm pretty sure she's his daughter. And it's got a great feel. Listen, stream, whatever, and see what you think. And let me know about that, about your feelings about Otis Taylor. And I think we're done for today. My name is Steve Guttenberg. I am the audiophiliac. If you want to be in the audio biz in any capacity, talk about it in the comments section below. And if you like Otis Taylor and you've heard him play, which I think I did actually hear him play, but it was a while ago. Anyway, I'll see you again real soon.